YouTube, try to do a quick video here. I am in the process of making another J pole, but this J pole is going to be for my weather radio, and this is like I think this is going to be a part 1 video. I'd like to do some receive comparisons using the J pole versus a quarter wave. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I was going to use my GMRS, and drive to different locations and do all that stuff. But I think what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to do a little differently. I'm going to use the weather radio, because my reception here to the weather radio is not very good. So I believe if I build this J pole, which I already built a quarter wave antenna for my weather radio, so that's already done. I'm building this J pole tuned to my frequency that I'm going to use for my weather radio. I'm going to try to do a comparison with this. Now, how I'm going to try to do this is obviously hooking up the antenna to the weather radio. I'm hoping I can actually hear a difference. But if I can get my SDR out and get that working and going, I may even try to do that. Besides listening and hearing a difference, I'm going to see if we can get some numbers to see if there's a difference. Does the J pole receive better than the quarter wave antenna? So that's what I'm going to be doing here. Now, I'm using my adjustable SWR J pole kit. I'm using conduit. Now, in this particular antenna, I ran out a 1/2-inch conduit, so I'm using 1 inch. That's what I had laying around here. So I had to redo my CAD program for the 1-inch pipe instead of the 1/2-inch. But the kit's going to be the same. Whether you buy it for your GMRS antenna or whether you buy it for your weather radio antenna, it's going to be the same kit, meaning that it's going to be the same about the same parts. Now, the nice thing about a J pole is we don't have any ground rods to deal with, so I like that. Now, since this is tuned to my weather channel, which is 162.550, this is pretty big antenna. So what I did is I 3D printed a little holder here. Let's see if none of this is it's been in place here. So I 3D printed a little holder here on this shorter pipe. See that? And I'll put silicone on that when I'm done. I am building it. Now, since my weather radio is not going to be transmitting, it's just going to be receiving, I don't really need to worry about SWRs. However, I am going to tune it according to the sheet, the calculator on the distance for the feed. So I'm just going to manually measure the distance with my digital caliper, and then that's how I'm going to do this. Now, I wanted to make this video quick because I want to show you how I do this when it comes to this particular feed SWR. I like using brass tubing, so I'll take this out, and you can see you don't have to do that. You could just solder this is 18 gauge wire, solid wire. You could just you could just use the wire itself and just bend it like an L. But I like taking brass tubing and soldering my wire on there, and then I tuck it inside there, and that's how I get so that I can adjust this with hose clamps. So I want to do a quick kind of a close-up on this. And then I did do a 3D print a cover for that. I did make ends. This end here I made bigger because I have an adapter that's going to fit on a 3/4 inch PVC pipe. I 3D printed an adapter for that. We'll put that in there. I'll put a bolt through there, and this will go through the pipe on my pole. And I'm going to show you my weather. I came up with an idea here for this weather antenna testing setup. So let me put you on pause, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're out here. I'm not going to be here too long. My skills are horrible. But I decided to put another tripod to do my weather antenna, so I don't have to keep moving this up and down 100 times, and then I just have less coax. Because this is my GMRS test antenna that I fold down, and it's just better to move it. So I took a tripod, and I don't like making holes in my roof, so I just took some cement blocks and drilled some holes in there and mounted the tripod. That's how we're going to do this. I'm going to put you on pause. The mosquitoes are horrible. There's about 20 of them in front of me. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're back inside here. Sorry about that. I tried to do that quick, but they're really bad this year. But that's how I'm going to do it. I'll just put a ladder and I'll climb it and I'll switch. We'll have the antenna stay in the exact same spot when I do this receive test, the same height. That's why I didn't want to use the other setup. I want to be separate, and that's how we're going to do this. Now, once I get this antenna built, I'm going to spray the plastic and the pipe with clear spray paint here that's UV resistant. So it'll help the plastic, and I'm going to spray the pipe so it don't rust. So that's what I'm going to do there when I'm done building this. It turned out pretty good, actually. I didn't make a 3D printed cap at the end there. There's a cap on this end I 3D printed, and then, of course, the adapter. So I just got to finish my feed, recheck my measurements. I'm going to super glue this on because I don't plan taking this. This is going to be built together. I'm not going to undo this. I'm going to use this antenna. So I'm going to super glue this, and then we'll spray everything down, the plastic and the metal, so nothing rusts, and then we'll go ahead and do a test. Now, you're probably wondering, well, when am I going to do this part 2 video? Well, to be honest, it just rained here the other day, and I suppose I could just, drench myself in mosquito spray to do this, because I'll have to go outside and literally switch antennas. Now I can do the readings I'll do inside the shack or the camper, so that part ain't so bad. So I'm hoping maybe next week. We'll see what the weather's like. We can get a lot of rain around here. So at any rate, that's my plan. We're gonna see, does the J-pole receive better than the quarter wave? And like I said, I picked a weather radio because it's really staticky where I live. That's going to be a perfect. I'm hoping I can get I got to try to find my SDR. If I can get that with the meter on there so we can get some number readings, that'd be cool too. So that's the plan. So anyway, if you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. Please subscribe. Thank you, and have yourself a good day.